We're back with Joe Concha and Guy Benson. Joe, as we were just talking about, the Washington Post, the New York Times, CNN, and others have confirmed the Hunter Biden laptop story. But Twitter and Facebook suppressed it before the election. The media didn't talk about it. And now the media is in meltdown over Elon Musk buying Twitter, Joe?
That's ironic, isn't it? And the CNN and Washington Post, New York Times, they confirmed the laptop story, 18 months later, well after Joe Biden was in the Oval Office and not when it mattered right before the election. And look, if you are, for free speech and you are anti-censorship, then I would think that you would embrace Elon Musk buying Twitter as good news, because now finally, hopefully, we'll take the political activism out of Twitter, out of Facebook, and just let it be a free speech platform. But as you just showed on the screen, as far as Twitter's concerned, there are many people that call themselves journalists that say that this is a threat to democracy. No, actually, it's the exact opposite, Liz.
Yeah, I mean, we should have informed consent to what Joe's saying, guys. Let's watch Tony Bobulinski, Hunter Biden's former business partner, tell Tucker Carlson no one called him about the story, about the corruption and the overseas business dealing by the Biden family using government assets like Air Force Two. No one talked to him about it before the election. Watch.
When the New York Post ran their article, individual named Andy Stone stepped in. I think he runs their compliance or fact-checking department, and throttled down the fact pattern. The interesting thing with that, Tucker, is Andy Stone never reached out to me. He never called my lawyers. Facebook never reached out to me and said, hey, Tony, we see that this email that the New York Post just published to you, is it real? Can you produce the email to us? Within 5 minutes, if Twitter, Facebook, anybody else had reached out, I would have produced the email.
He's got emails, he's got text messages, audio recordings, Guy. He's a decorated Navy lieutenant. He's got NSA and Energy Department clearances. Your reaction, Guy?
And yet no interest at all from anyone involved. And this is what happened. The word came down from the Biden campaign. This is Russian disinformation. And then the media and social media companies just saluted and treated it as such at the say-so, upon the say-so of a political campaign that they wanted to win. It's that simple. It was a disgrace. Now, if you want to put the disgrace off to the side and say, OK, now that laptop and the contents of it have been authenticated, you would think there'd be some interest in looking at Tony Bobulinski and his information with fresh eyes, because the previous smear wasn't right. Okay, here's this man again who has this information. Is anyone interested? Or is it a midterm election where the stakes are now too high to maybe help the Republicans in some way by speaking truth to power and looking into alleged corruption by, the ruling party and the Biden family? It seems like, again, the answer is no from these very same people, who then turn around and wonder why people don't trust the media and don't trust social media in many respects.
So to Guy's point, Joe, if the media outlets are confirming the authenticity of the text messages and more on Hunter Biden's laptop, why aren't they calling Tony Bobulinski? I mean, he's talking about working on an energy deal with CEFC, China's major energy conglomerate and the big player in China's Belt and Road push to dominate world infrastructure and energy. And the House GOP is saying that deal was about also selling natural gas reserves out of 5 U.S. states to China, including interests in U.S. drillers. So why isn't the media, to Guy's point, following up with Bobulinski?
Liz, it's the most insidious kind of bias, and it's called the bias of omission, pretending a story doesn't exist. The curiosity that should be in every journalist to pursue something so important as this, because remember, the worst case scenario is that Joe Biden did get 10% as the big guy, and now he is compromised by countries like China and Ukraine. That should be an important story that people are pursuing, but to Guy's point, it's silence of the lambs.
So, Joe, just stay on this for a second.
Yeah.
So what happens with the midterms? Are we going to hear more about this? Final word, Joe, first to you and then to Guy.
Only on this network and Fox News, but otherwise, no, you will not hear a peep on NBC, CBS, ABC, CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, Washington Post. Thank you.
What do you think, Guy? 10 seconds.
Because we're in such a polarized era, those outlets see this happening on Tucker. They say, ooh, ick, Tucker, Fox. That's not for us. It's a shame.
Got it. Guy Benson, Joe Concha, that was terrific. We'll do it again.